Hey there everyone, hope you're keeping well and welcome to my UBChef cook along. So next week's menu is live, you can order that until this coming Sunday. That is our last menu before Christmas, which is now sold out. So if you've ordered the Christmas menu from UBChef this year, thank you so much. You're in for a treat. We're in for some very busy days in the run up to Christmas to get all those lovely boxes out to you. But we can't wait, and we can't wait for you to receive your Christmas hamper and tuck in. So we'll get cooking now our 9 dishes for this week, as well as our weekly bake. I'm going to take you through as normal how to plate them up, how to cook them. They're really straightforward to do. Essentially, everything is in the box, ready to go, and leaves you to plate up like a pro. Use your inner flare, of course. Remember, first thing to do, get the oven on, set it 185 degrees. It's the same temperature right the way through for everything because you're just heating it up. If it's something roasted, we've already roasted it for you, so it's already got that lovely char, that lovely colour. So 185 or gas mark 6. Make sure you've got your board, your knife, make sure you've got some spoons, some scissors, a little pot of molten salt, and then of course get all your ingredients out, take yourself through them. They're all coded, so for example, starter number, the bruschetta will be labelled number 1, and dessert, for example, number 6, so you can gather all your pots. It will say whether it's fridge, freezer, tell you exactly where to store it, so unpack that delivery straight away. Like this week there's an Arctic roll, Pina Colada Arctic roll, would you believe? It says freezer on it, so get the Arctic roll part in the freezer. So it's quite straightforward to do, and just leaves you to get everything together like now, and I'll show you how to take it through. So let's get cooking and we'll do the first dish. So our weekly bake this week is Cuttlefish Breadsticks. So this is a Cuttlefish Ink. What you get if you order this is a box with these lovely bread shards in, which are coloured black, of course, from the Cuttlefish Ink. So what I'm going to do then, all you need to do is just snap them away, and I'm going to present them in a little little pot full of risotto rice, so you get a lovely bit of height to them. So let's just snap them away. And these are just so that you can take a little bit and dip it into your Taramasalata. So that's just a few more of them. There we go. And then next you got a little pack like so with your scallop shell and Taramasalata in. So I'm just going to take your shell out, and then there's my piping bag of Taramasalata. Take a pair of scissors and then just cut off one end, like so, and then just get your scallop shell, and then we're just going to pipe there we go. Pipe your Taramasalata in. That can go just on the board, like so. And then all you do, take it to the dinner table, of course, and the little crackers just to dip in. Taramasalata's got a touch of beetroot powder in there, just to give it that lovely pinky tinge. There's no bread in there. This is just emulsified with some really nice olive oil, rapeseed oil, lemon juice. Lovely little salty kick to it. A beautiful way to start the meal. Hope you enjoy it. First starter for you is a little tempura of red mullet. So we've got the mullet fillets here, a lovely light tempura that they've been coated in and just very sort of part fried. So the fish inside, of course, is still raw. But I've got charred lemon to go with that. This is sort of sweetens the flavour of a lemon juice and really brings that flavour out. And then garnishes, I've got seaweed salad, a lovely little selection of different seaweeds, tartar sauce, and a lemon dressing. So what you're going to do for this, first of all, remember the oven is set 185 degrees, is the mullet and the lemon, both in the oven for 6 minutes. And then once they've done for 6 minutes, we're going to then plate the dish up. So let's get that in there, like so. Timer's on, and then we'll be back in 6 to finish plating up the dish. So mullet is almost cooked now, so I've got a little mixing bowl here, and then my seaweed salad. I'm just going to take some of the seaweed, as much as you like really on there. I'm dressing just one portion here. So seaweed in there, and then you've got a little bit of lemon dressing. So give it a really good stir. That will emulsify the lemon juice and oil back in together. And just a touch on there to start with. Give it a good little mix to coat it all in that dressing. Then have a taste. Really, really important. Taste, taste, taste. Perfect. I'm happy with that dressing. Brought the flavour out nicely on the seaweed. Add a little bit of salt if you prefer. Then I'm gonna. I'm using these posh little tweezers. Obviously, if you don't have to use them. It's just find it easier to plate up a bit with them. So a little bit of seaweed on there. What I say is keep a little bit just for the top. Okay, so you've got a little bit to garnish the top so you can still see it once you put the mullet on. And let's get our mullet out of the oven. And that's only been there for 6 minutes, lovely and crisp on the top. And our lemon, of course. Tiny bit of seasoning, just on those mullet fillets before we plate it. Then let's add our lemon, just at the top. And I'm going to take those fillets of mullet. And I'm just going to plate those like so. Get a little bit of height to it. Okay, play with the seaweed sort of underneath so you can, just like that. And you can see the lovely delicate red mullet skin, that lovely vivid red colour through the batter. It's obviously only, of course, a very thin batter. Then your tartar sauce. Nice big spoon of that on there. That's got gherkins, capers, parsley. Like so. Touch more dressing. So I'm not going to go over the fish because then you'll make the batter soggy, so just a touch around. And then I'll come back and just get those tiny little pieces of seaweed. Then you can make a real difference to that presentation now. There we go. So I'm just going to carry on dressing a few more pieces of that. And then we are done. So, beautiful, simple starter. Wonderful flavours of the sea here with that fresh seaweed. There we go. I'm just happy with that. So, tempura red mullet, tartar sauce, charred lemon, seaweed salad. Lovely and fresh starter. Here I've got some lovely local duck for my next starter. So this is a duck pastrami. Brown rig duck in here. What I've done is brine this for 3 days. And then we've smoked it over hickory for about 4 hours. Just before that, it's had a rub on it of juniper, coriander seeds, peppercorns. So a lovely like spiced rub on the outside. And then yeah, smoked it as I said. A little roast through the oven. And you've got this really delicate, lovely, like just smell it, it's absolutely stunning, real serious flavour coming from this one. So duck pastrami, then simple garnishes for this one, almost a coleslaw. So this is a remoulade, bound with a little mustard lemony mayonnaise, which I'm going to spoon onto a plate. I'm almost going to make a little bed for the pastrami to sit on. Okay, so you want a real decent amount of remoulade on there. There you go. It's got some lovely fine Pommery mustard going through it. Again, touch of capers, a little bit of gherkin, parsley. There we go. And then what I'm going to do with my duck is just turn it up like that. I'm going to plate it on the top. Okay? So it will hold nicely together like that, really easy. So then what we're going to do, take some of our dressing. This is a date of Madeira dressing, so we've reduced some Madeira down. Some lovely little dates, just soaked in a little bit of tea. I'm just going to take a touch of the dressing first of all, just on the top of the duck. It's going to give it a lovely shine, and then give it a stir. And you'll see all those chopped dates in there. Then we're back to pickled red cabbage, just for some real lovely texture on the top. I'm just gonna, not too much, you want to still see the duck underneath it. So just nicely spaced. There we go. Yeah, happy with that. And then dressing around the outside to start with. Make sure you get some of those lovely little date pieces evenly distributed. And then a touch over the top as well. Again, date pieces on there. There we go. So duck pastrami, a little remoulade on there, and then with date and Madeira dressing. Hope you enjoy it. Really special starter here for you. This is burrata. So the burrata is similar to mozzarella, but inside the burrata you've got the chopped like mozzarella, but mixed with cream, and then it's kind of it's sort of in the skin of the mozzarella on the outside. So this is going to come to you in its sort of like juice that it sits in. That's just to protect it in transit, but it's of course very soft, very delicate. Start off, get your bruschetta. This is some lovely char grilled sourdough. Get that in the oven for 6 minutes. There we go. And then we're going to be closely followed by the mushrooms. This is some really nice Isle of Wight mushrooms. A selection of oysters in here, king oyster as well, which is delicious. We're going to go in the oven for 4 minutes, so we'll just give that a couple. And then we're going to serve it with some manchego, some very thinly sliced manchego cheese, and a little tarragon salsa. So just whilst your little sourdough is warming up, very carefully get that burrata out of there, and then you don't need to juice for anything. And then this burrata, we're only serving half a portion on here. It's very rich, so you can either tear it open, up to you, but I like just get a knife or you use your fingers and just cut through there. You see instantly it's very delicate, very soft. Now we just turn that over and almost just arrange that burrata back in that skin. So that's all ready to sit onto our bruschetta. So leave that for a few minutes to come up to room temperature, which really helps with the flavour. And then we'll be back in about 4 or 5 minutes, plate up our bruschetta. So out comes the bruschetta here. Careful that hot tray, and then we've got our mushrooms. So they're all ready, nice and hot, ready to serve. And then what we'll do is put our bruschetta onto our serving plate. Then take some of those mushrooms. These are all seasoned, of course. So there's a little selection there of oysters. So place a nice few of those. Let a few kind of almost like hang off the edge. That lovely presentation. There we go, and then you'll find in there as well a lovely piece of king oyster. So just have that just on the end. I'm going to have that on sort of full display so you can see it. And then remember, like I do with some of the other dishes, save a few for the mushrooms for the garnish for the top. And then a little spoon and get right under that burrata. I'm going to sit that on the top. And it's almost starting to flow out. It's just beautiful, so rich, lovely. Then come back to tarragon salsa. So you've got tarragon, spinach in there, rapeseed oil, seasoning. So I'm going to put a few little spoons of that. This is almost like the dressing. As that starts to warm up, the oil will come out of that and it will act as a little almost like salad dressing on the side. So nice bit of salsa, and then go back for some more mushrooms. Just going to place a couple of those so you can really see every part of the dish. Another one just on the back there, lovely. And then manchego, a few slices, and again just sort of like play with the height. Don't need much on there, it's just for that little difference in flavour of the cheese. The burrata is lovely and rich, lovely and creamy, and you get that real nuttiness, slightly salty flavour from the manchego. So that's enough, I'm happy with that. And then I'm just going to finish with a tiny bit of rapeseed. You can use olive if you prefer, and also a little bit of seasoning just on that burrata just before it goes to the table. And that is it. Lovely simple starter, but with that really, really special burrata cheese. Hope you enjoy. First main course this week on the menu is a celebration of the sea, or in other words, a fruit de mer, so fruits of the sea. What we're going to do to start off with, I'm going to take you through everything that's on here because there's quite a lot. This is obviously for 2 people. We've done this for this week. First things first, get your focaccia. So this is a little gored out olive focaccia. It's going to go in the oven about 12-14 minutes. That can go in. And then also, the only other hot element that you need to do on there that you need to cook is the soft shell crab. So I'm just going to put that to one side. That's only going to take about 6 minutes in the oven. These are, you can eat the whole thing. With tempura, these ones are very, very light tempura. So they're going to go back in the oven for about 6 minutes. So we'll just leave those to the side. Then the rest of the dish, we've got lobster, which is all here, all just filmed up for you, ready to go. So this is dressed lobster in the shell. Just been poached, touch of lemon zest on there. Then we've got some lovely cured salmon. Just in here, which we've done into some lovely like 80s style salmon roses for you. And then we've got a little seaweed salad. That's just going to garnish the whole platter. We've got a little Mary Rose sauce, and that's going to kind of go across all of the dishes. We've got some gem lettuce leaves here, to again go on the base of the tray. Then we've got seared yellowfin tuna, just in some little Dijon mustard, and then chopped herbs around there. Keeps going. Scallop salad. So this is a seared scallop, very thinly sliced, just put back in the shell with rapeseed oil, a touch of lime zest. Then we've got some lovely large king prawns, which have been cooked off, just all ready to go, and of course some charred lemon, and that's going to just so you can squeeze over the top. So bread's in bacon. Soft shell crabs are going to go in about 4 or so minutes, and then once that's all there, get everything else opened up, so get the lobster out of its film, undo the scallops from their little package that's sealed in them, and then I'm going to show you how I would present this up. Remember, this is for 2 people, so I'm going to do this on a nice big platter. So I'll be back in a few minutes once my bread is ready. So my focaccia is warming up in the oven. Soft shell crabs, they're nearly ready. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how I'm going to plate this up. So I've got this lovely little silver platter. I've got a dish in the middle for my Mary Rose sauce. So let's just give that a little stir. We've just made a fresh mayonnaise here, pasteurised egg yolk in it, of course. It's got all the usual suspects here, lovely Worcester sauce, Tabasco, put some lovely the rose cognac in here, something a bit special, touch of tomato. So that can all go into my dish. And then I'm going to take gem lettuce leaves next, and I'm just going to kind of add these all the way around. This is going to be a bed on which to sit my seafood on, sorry. So there we go, arrange all those leaves around the outside. Then I'm going to take a little bit of rapeseed oil, you can use olive, just on top of my tuna. Just rub it in onto the top of the fish, and that will give it a lovely shine. And then a tiny bit of seasoning. We don't add the salt onto the top of the fish like this before, as it will start to cook it. You wouldn't have that lovely vibrant colour on the top. Next, scallop shells. So I'm going to put a couple of those just in there like so. Beautiful. Then I'm going to get my lobster. So just rearrange your lobster meat inside, just get a nice bit of height. There we go. I'm going to put those just on the edge of a tray, like so. That's my lobster on there. Next I'm going to get my tuna. Lovely thick slices of tuna here, real meaty. And on they go. So, then we're up with the salmon. This is cured salmon on here. Again, give it a little bit of a rearrange. And sit that just on there. This is citrus cured, so I cured it in lemon, lime, orange, some spices in there, a touch of coriander, etc. And then charred lemon. This is all ready for when you take it to the table, and then you take your lemon and you can squeeze out on all the different elements as you eat them. So lemon's all on there. There we go, I'm just going to just to make that poke out. And then I'm going to grab both my bread, soft shell crab out. Eat lovely and crisp. And my bread as well. So, this is just before you send this to the table now. So, last couple of elements going on there in terms of those prawns. Like so, I'm just going to stand them up. There we go. Same again on that side. Oh, it's starting to look fabulous, really nice. Soft shell crab, tiny bit of seasoning just on the top of them. And I'm going to put those just in there so they're all ready to dive in. You can really see them start to come together now. Certainly like loads of different seafood on here. There we go. Then some seaweed. This is just to garnish it up, so I'm just going to put some into the little gaps on the tray. Like so, there we go. James said a few weeks ago to me when we were coming up with menus, all of us, me and Ed, James, we all sit down. But James said, "Oh, what about a fruit de mer?" I looked as if he was crazy. How can we send a fruit de mer in a takeaway style across the country in boxes? But here it is. So really pleased we took on the challenge. There we go. So lovely bit of seaweed, all garnished. We're almost there now. Unwrap your bread. Here I've done this lovely little olive focaccia, Gordal olives, rosemary. The smell hits you as soon as you unwrap that. Beautiful. A little bit of salt on the top, touch more oil. Again, olive or rapeseed, your preference. And then use your board. There we go. So that is a fruit de mer. Lovely selection of seafood there to take to the table. You've got your Mary Rose sauce in the centre, and you've got your olive focaccia to dive in. Really hope you enjoy it. So next up on this main course, we've got a barbecued rump of lamb. So we've cooked these on the barbecue. This is going to go in the oven for about 12 to 14 minutes. And then you've got your pressing of confit shoulder of lamb and potato, just in foil and brick pastry, and outside 10 minutes in the oven. It's all cooked, just needs heating up. So let's get our lamb in first of all. I'll give that a few minutes first of all, and then I'll come back and put my pressing in. Garnishes we're going to be serving with a Vichy carrot puree, so velvety smooth Vichy carrot puree there. We've got our little lamb sauce, red wine lamb sauce, carrot top pesto, so we've used the tops from our heritage carrots, turn that into a pesto. This has got nuts in it, so be really careful. There's any nut allergy people that they avoid this one. And then we've got pickled carrots, so pickled heritage carrots here. These are all ready to go, just for that lovely little bit of sort of acidity just on the top of this, all these rich flavours. So we'll be back in about 14 minutes or so. Need to rest the lamb slightly, of course, and I'll show you how to plate it up. So just getting my lamb shoulder out lastly. Just already taken my rump of lamb out, and that's been resting for a couple of minutes. And there's my confit shoulder, all ready to go. So take out your lamb on your board, all ready to slice. And then I'm going to get a touch of lamb sauce and just spoon it just on the top of my pressing. That gives it a lovely little shine. Not to mention extra banging flavour from the roasted lamb sauce. And then take a little bit of carrot puree. So heat your plate up. Little spoon on like so. Then you use the back of the spoon or a palette knife just to do a lovely little swipe. And then we'll come back to our pressing. Just going to get in there with that palette knife again on on like so. Then I'm going to take some of the pickled carrots and I'm going to put a little pile on which to sit the lamb on. I'm going to take some of my carrot top pesto and just put that at the back of the plate. Nice little pile of that. You can always serve more of that at the table. Right, now for our lamb. Take that little piece of rosemary off which it's sent with, that's just so it can rest nicely. Then we've got a lamb, so what you want to do, look at the lamb and you can see the way the grain of the meat goes. So essentially if the grain of the meat goes that way, you want to cut it across the grain. Always the same with meat, so check that out. Little slice, away we go. So, like so. Now I'm going to just take those slices, I'm going to arrange them back on the board. I'm going to put one piece of lamb on those carrots just to sit it on. And I'm going to make sure presentation wise I get the best side of lamb to go on the top. So just arrange that very carefully, bouncing on top. Back a little bit of lamb sauce, touch over, touch around, and there we go. Straight to the table with that. A beautiful rump of lamb barbecued, Confit shoulder pressing, carrot top pesto, and a really lovely velvety smooth carrot puree. Vegetarian main course this week is this lovely pressing of winter vegetables. So you've got some swede in there, celeriac, you've got potato going through each of the layers as well. So that's going to go in the oven, heat up about 12 to 14 minutes. And then we've also got our nice pieces of Jerusalem artichoke roasted, about 6 minutes in the oven for these, so half the cooking time in of your piece of Jerusalem artichoke. Then in a second, when we sort of plate it up, what I'll be showing you is the sauce vierge, which here is some very thinly sliced shallots, nice mixed herbs. Our vierge dressing, which you really want to give a really good shake to, that's going to get dressed last second. And then we've got sauce Delice here, which is like a white onion sauce, and some crispy Jerusalem artichoke pieces. So I'll be back next to show you, once this is all heated up, how to plate the vegetarian main course up. Okay, so my sauce Delice all hot there, ready to go. And now I'm going to take some of my vierge dressing, which I've shaken really well, pour a little of that into, on top of your herbs and shallots, sorry. Give it a good stir, touch of seasoning. Again, a good stir to make sure that's all nicely mixed up. Then let's grab our pressing out. Pressing is there. And our Jerusalem artichokes. So to plate, it starts off by taking some of your sauce Delice, a nice bit of that just in the centre, and I'm going to, just with the back of a spoon, I'm going to spread it out, nice circle there, like so. Then go back, like that. What I'll do then, take a fish slice, just get that right under your pressing, make sure the paper stays off, and then lift that onto your plate, like so. And then we're going to go first of all with some of our Jerusalem artichoke roasted pieces. So these have just been roasted in the oven with some thyme, garlic. I'm going to plate some of these just nicely around. There we go. And then we're going to go with our sauce vierge. So here, get a nice sort of mixture of the herbs and the shallots as you place it around the outside of your pressing. There we go. More on there. And a little bit of the actual dressing underneath. Just goes around the outside. There we go. And then lastly, these lovely little Jerusalem shaped crisps. Just going to place a few of those. So we fried these and then dehydrated them, so they're lovely and crispy, but also a nice bit of sort of thickness to them, so you really do get a nice bite. I'm just going to interleave a couple of those in the top of the pressing as well. And there we go. So, lovely little vegetarian main course food pressing, root vegetables, sauce de beast, and a winter vierge with shallots and some lovely mixed soft herbs. So, first dessert up here for you, we're going back in time a little bit here, Arctic roll. So not as you know it though, this is a Pina Colada Arctic roll, so you've got coconut sponge around the outside, very, very thin, and in the centre we've got a Pina Colada parfait, which has got of course coconut, pineapple, dark rum in there. That needs to come out, allow it to warm up at room temperature for about 10 minutes or so. And then here's our pineapple. This is roasted pineapple which has been barbecued and then roasted in the oven. Get your cooking liquor, which it comes with, pour it over, and then that's going to go in the oven for about 10 minutes. As it's in the oven, baste it a couple of times and then you'll end up with a lovely sticky glazed pineapple. So we'll be back in 10. I've left my Arctic roll out here to warm up. I've got my pineapple puree ready and I've got my lovely little slices of dried crispy coconut ready to go. See you in 10. So pineapple's coming out now. It's been in the oven for 10 minutes. All that sauce is reduced down, nice and sticky. Then to plate this up, take your little bit of pineapple puree. I'm just going to add a spoon of that to the plate, like so. And then take a palette knife or the back of a spoon again, spread that across the plate. And then we'll get our Arctic roll on. So there we go, I'm just going to sit that on its side. But you can see all the sponge layer, you can see the parfait inside. Then we'll just turn our pineapple over. It's just going to sit on there. And take a little bit of the cooking liquor, just on the top. And then just to finish it off, take some of your coconut pieces. And we're just going to build those up. So a little bit like Jenga. Yeah, lovely little stack of coconut crisps on the top. There we go, a few more on there and we are ready to go. So, Arctic roll, bit retro, roasted pineapple, pineapple puree. Enjoy. One for you chocolate lovers now. This is a salted caramel delice. You've got a ginger nut base to it and then stem ginger going through that chocolate. And then we've got a chocolate glaze on the top of there as well. So take a little bit of banana puree, first of all. So we're going to touch of that just on my plate. That's just a heavily roasted banana puree. And then we're going to get a little bit of our, get our delice out then. So use a palette knife. It's been up to room temperature for about 10 minutes before we're going to serve it, just to make sure it's really nice to eat. And then we'll lift that onto the plate, like so. And then take your popcorn, it's butterscotch popcorn, so it's just caramelised in quite a dark caramel. I'm just going to place some nice pieces of that around the outside. Touch of salt just to finish that popcorn off. There we go. And there you have it. Nice easy dessert to put together. Hope you enjoy. Finishing off this week's UBChef menu with our tasting plate of cheese. Most important as usual, have this out 20, 30 minutes, even an hour before you're going to serve some of those cheeses. They're all up to room temperature. Then just take it out. We will seal it in this nice little tray, just with some wax paper on the top. So just peel that off the top. So, and then make sure you've got your cheese tasting notes. These allow you to see what type of milk it is, where it's from, region, tasting notes as well, so you can impress your guests. and then arrange them in order. So they're on order on the tray, but if you're not sure, just refer to the list, and then away we go. Plate those all up. I've got this nice little cheese board that I'm arranging them on. So we'll put those down, finishing off with that boval. Now I'm going to put a quince paste, which sometimes we serve a chutney, sometimes we serve a quince paste with it. And then this week we varied the crackers. This is an ale cracker here. Ale cracker with some lovely toasted oats on the top. I'm just going to put some of my crackers just on the side like so. And that is your cheese course all ready to serve. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks very much indeed for watching this week's UBChef menu. Hope you enjoy it, hope you enjoy the dishes. If you've not ordered with us before, this is how it works. It comes to you in this lovely box clad with sheep's wool inside, so all sustainable. Comes all chilled with ice, so you can just leave it in the box until you're ready to eat it and prepare. It's basically heat it up, but with a bit of chefiness in there as well. So you get to present the dishes, you get dressings, you get granolas, you get little purees, but no need to feel daunted about it. It's all ready to go and really, really simple. You get instructions in there, you get these weekly videos to show you how to do it. Christmas, as I said earlier, is all sold out now, so thanks so much everyone who's ordered that Christmas menu. But don't forget, we've got more menus on the site. We've got next week's menu, and then going into January, we've got a lovely Asian tasting menu in the first part of January, and then there'll be further menus after that. So hope you enjoy this week, and best wishes to you all.